The second session that you'll have as a mentor is the first retreat that you'll go on. This is a tough one to schedule because you've just had your first session, your launch night. And because of calendars, you're going to have a really hard time getting everybody on board to go away for a whole weekend. So we've given you three options. We've given you an outline for a weekend away. We've given you an outline for 24 hours. And we've given you an outline for what we call Story Sunday, where if all you can do is get everybody together for after church Sunday until midnight, you can get it all done in that amount of time. That's not what we hope will happen, but sometimes that's all you can do based on the schedules that everybody is up against. You've told your story on launch night. You got everybody knows your story, your full-on faith story. And what happens on your first retreat is that everybody else shares their faith story. And that the net of it, the essence of it, the common denominator is transparency and vulnerability. Clay Scroggins, one of our mentees, is going to now tell you a little bit about his perspective on transparency.
I think everybody who grew up in the last 30 or 40 years in the church has felt this sense of needing to project a certain kind of image, that we all have this veneer that we put on, this mask that we put on of who we want people to think that we are. But in reality, we know that we've all got struggles and we've all got weaknesses and we've all got places where we wrestle every day with the big questions of life and even some of the smaller habits and disciplines in life. And so for me, I had a mentor who, at the very beginning of our group, he opened up and said, "Let me tell you my story." And he didn't just give the superficial details, but he really dove in and said, "Hey, here's where me and my wife have struggled, and here's where I really fell short as a dad, and here's where I've struggled in my relationship with Christ." And it opened up a discussion for our group, and it took us to a depth that we wouldn't have gone before. And it gave guys permission to take off the mask and to say, "Hey, I'm gonna let you guys know who I am. I'm going to let you guys know what I'm dealing with, my strengths and my weaknesses and my struggles." And the acceptance that followed after the transparency was extremely powerful. But we wouldn't have gotten there if it hadn't been for the transparency of the leader.